Okay, so this is the 98 Maxima that I put the aftermarket fog lights on. Sorry I didn't take pictures. I'm feeling a little bit inverse lazy. So anyway, long story short, you'll notice my car has a few things on the front of it that you might have questions about. The duct tape at the top of the headlights are makeshift eyebrows. It's not important right now. What's important is I want to look at the fog lights. These are those $20 Walmart fog lights that I told you guys about. Okay, I like them. I think they look pretty damn good. Now, my camera isn't the greatest. It's my cell phone, but I tried to adjust the settings the best I could. All right, so that's it. That's what it looks like. Had a question. Somebody on the forum said, what about gap size around the lights? Because I know that the OEM lights don't really have a gap per se. They fill in that cavity just perfect. So I don't really mind the gap. I kind of like it. It just doesn't bother me. Actually, it gives me options if I wanted to run something down there, intake or something like that. You know, I have other options because there's actually flow that goes through there. Anyway, they're way brighter than the OEM lights, which is the reason that I first tried them, because when I got this car, I forgot which side it was. One of them had a big crack down the center of the lens, and it impeded a lot of the light to come through the lens. And I wanted function more than I wanted looks. But these lights here actually give me both. So they're extremely bright. They give me really good side lighting as well as distance. They throw pretty far, and they can be aimed extremely easily. Hell, I just grab them with my hand and aim them because there's, I believe, like a lock washer and a small bolt in each side that tightens down, but they don't move around once you move them, so it's a pretty good little combination of all that stuff. Alright, I'm going to try to show you if I can up under it, dealing with the bracket. Now, I might not be able to get a good shot, so I apologize if it's a shitty shot. Okay, now look, before you start asking me questions about the wires being exposed and all that stuff, I used the, well, like I said again, that doesn't really bother me like you would think it would, because when you're going down the road, you're not really going to see that much. Nobody's really going to see that. Alright, so here's the bracket. I'm going to try to light this up with a small flashlight, and we're going to hope for the best. If you can't see it, I apologize. So, this is the bracket right there. That's the OEM bolt hole for the OEM bracket right up there. So, that is at a slight angle to this one here, if you can see that. Now, all I had to do was, for example, mount it up. These brackets here actually have elongated holes in them where you can adjust it back and forth. Well, the very end of each hole reached the factory holes. Hold on. Thanks, dude. Anyway, so I was able to mount it in there. All I did was I simply grabbed it and just twisted it. And these things are made of pretty thin metal. They're not weak by any means. They hold the light in place and they don't allow it to move around once I did it, but it is at a slight angle where I tweaked it. Well, once I did that, it still stayed in alignment. It's at a good angle. If you look from the front of the car, it looks pretty even. So, all in all, satisfied with it. And I don't really have any complaints. So, a few side notes. I've got just a garage door bottom front lip, cheaply made just to see if it looked different. It's kind of torn up right now. Thank you for parking blocks. Like I said, makeshift eyebrows on the headlights with duct tape just to test it out. Got too lazy to take it back off, and at night, it looks fucking sexy actually. The grill is just gutter guard aluminum mesh. Custom did it myself. As you can see, a little gap in here for the hood latch. It's totally accessible, and I really don't think it looks all that bad being open right there. You know, it just looks like there's a function to it, and it's not perfect. You know, it's the first time I did it, but you know, you can see around the emblem there. I didn't have an emblem on it when I got the car. I took one from the junkyard, and the emblem, I think, fills it out pretty nicely. But if you look around the top edge there, where it goes around the emblem, it's really not that even. I don't really care, man. I think it looks cool, and on the bottom, just a solid piece of it, and you zip tie it in place. It's pretty simple. Round the edges with some pliers, it's a no-brainer, really. But that's it. That's my Nissan Maxima. A couple other things I did to it. I had to paint the windshield wiper arms because they had some fade, and they were down to the middle. So I simply just took them, you know, the Scotch-Brite pad, scuffed them up a little bit, just on the places, hung them up in the garage, spray painted the bitches. They're simple, it's easy. It's not absolutely flawless, but it looks clean. It looks better than it did. So, tail light tint. It's probably a medium tint. It's not really dark, but I think it looks better than the factory. Take it off the factory. Third brake light. Yeah, I know that. Pull apart doesn't have much of that laying around these days. Maximas, I find over there, they have the trunks removed or just aren't that color. And spoilers, a lot of times aren't even on the cars, or they just don't come factory with it. So anyway, paint's not perfect. There's a couple little, you know, little dings and dents here and there. But man, you know, truthfully, I got this car for free. It's got about 192,000 miles on it. This fucking thing runs great, man. It's quick, it's peppy. It's only an automatic, but I'm really not going to complain for a free vehicle. So there's a clear coat that came off the quarter panel up to the roof line, the door. The clear coat here is peeling on the door. Well, I know this has kind of been a long-winded video, but I just wanted to show you guys mainly the fog lights. Ended up showing you other features too. Well, that's it. Hope you liked it. Any complaints? I don't care. Later.